Hello, everyone, and welcome to another inspiring episode of Hanging Out for a Living, where we explore the transformative power of friendship-based business relationships. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Grace Dobbins, the visionary founder of In America with Grace. Grace's mission is to bridge the gap between dreams and reality for her clients by providing exceptional English language education and comprehensive resources for navigating life here in America. Her commitment is her commitment to making every story matter and helping her clients master English while understanding the American way of life really sets her apart as a true catalyst for change. So, Grace, welcome to Hanging Out for a Living.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. Thank you for the introduction.
Absolutely. So let's dive into, I know you're really busy, so I want to honor and respect your time. Let's dive into those questions. So can you share with us the inspiration behind In America with Grace and how your personal journey really influenced its creation?
Well, and one of the things that really inspired me is number one, my work through education and the fact that I moved here. I
Mm.
moved here from Puerto Rico. It's going to be 26 years. 26 years. Uh,
Wow.
yes, sorry. This is my protector here.
Good old
Um,
blue.
I moved to Florida on July 22nd, 1998. I took a night flight at 10:30 p.m.
Oh,
One
that
of
is
the things,
late.
yeah, one of the things I tell people is that dates you never forget, your children's birthdays,
Yes,
and when you move and make a big change as moving into a different country.
absolutely.
Moving from Puerto Rico to Florida, even though Puerto Rico is US and I am a citizen, it's very different. The culture is different, the language is different. I mean, and I moved here and it was just a big shock. It was very, very shocking how different things were. I thought I knew English because we do get taught English, but as soon as I people started talking, I was like, I don't know English. Like I'm
Oh,
done.
oh,
No hablo. I don't speak English. And it was a very difficult transition. But thanks to people, thanks to just, I'm a Christian, thanks to God, I ended up going to college, doing ESOL classes, and I started working in education. Working in education, I met many people that were in the same boat as I was. They moved here from other countries, didn't understand the system, had difficulties with the language,
sure.
and I kept helping them. When we met, I was working in higher ed. So I was helping a lot of families get their children to college, understanding the college system, the high school system. And then I transitioned into actually helping adults learn the language. And working in the system, it was very specific. You're teaching English, and that was it. And and these families, these adults were coming with issues. They were coming with things they didn't understand. They didn't understand a job application. They didn't understand, why they were being asked for 3 months of income to lease an apartment, and just a lot of questions that were real life situations, you know?
Absolutely.
And I would try answering them, and a lot of administrators will say, "No, that's not your job. Your job is to teach."
Yeah,
Well, this is part of teaching,
it
this is
is.
part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And what a great foundation you had to build on, right? Because you
Mhm.
had that higher ed education and teaching and being in the throes of it.
Yes.
And that really helped, I'm sure, to, help you hit the ground running in what you're doing now. And Grace, your mission really emphasizes not just teaching English, but also preparing clients for American life. I know you touched on that a little bit. Can you elaborate on some of the unique resources and support you provide to ensure this rather comprehensive approach?
In America with Grace is their go-to. That's what I always tell people. It is their go-to. We try to add resources online, but we're always available via email, via phone when students have any questions or issues that come about. But we also focus our curriculum on the US way of life. So I teach English and I design my workshops and my classes based on what they need to know. So yes, we need to know the colors, but we also need to know how it is to go shopping. If I want a red blouse,
Right.
or I'm looking for a blue skirt. We teach money. the difference between a credit union and a bank. A
Sure.
lot of times they don't know what the term credit union is. So we really focus on making sure that they have those tools that they need to be successful. I'm also partnering with different organizations in the community where we're able to offer specialized workshops. So I'm really proud of a workshop that we're doing now in Seminole County that is focused on workforce readiness.
Ooh,
What does a US resume look like? What is a cover letter? Teresa,
right.
did you know that cover letters are not used in many countries?
I no, I mean, amazing.
And so when they look at the term cover letter, they don't know what it is.
Right.
They don't know how to create one. So a lot of students were coming up to me. They were like, I applied for all these jobs, but nobody's calling me, not even a phone call. And
Wow.
I said, well, something is not right. And
Sure.
and it could be simple as that they're not sure how to answer those application questions. What's the difference between getting laid off and fired?
Ah,
That's something that if you live in the US, you know the difference. But many times they were using the word fired, and it wasn't that they were fired, it was that the company closed or the department closed or
okay.
their contract ended. So through these workshops that we're doing, we're really emphasizing, we're giving them the tools. We're
Sure.
not doing it for them. And that's
Right.
another thing. We're not doing it for them. We're teaching them how to write their resume, how to write a cover letter, how to dress for an interview.
Yeah.
Teresa, you want to hear something really funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in Puerto Rico, when you go to an interview, you go with like, we're talking about nails done, hair done, makeup, best outfit, high heels, I mean, it's like you're walking into a fashion show.
Oh, okay.
And when, and when I went to my first interview, that's what I did. I had my skirt might have been a little short, I got some long legs and high heels and my makeup. And I remember one of the ladies that was in the interviewing, she was Puerto Rican and she came up to me and goes, girl, I know where you come from, but we don't do that here. And
Uh,
I'm like, what do you mean we don't? And she was trying to explain to me real quick, you
sure.
know, you have to be more conservative, less makeup, lower heels, less jewelry. And I'm like, so I was doing it all wrong without knowing. So we
Exactly.
focus on that, teaching simple things. Yes, I know you like your perfume, but don't wear so much of it, and just those
Exactly.
little things that are very different culturally,
Right.
try to focus on that. So it's been really fun because the feedback from students has been amazing. I love when they have this aha moment, like, oh, and I wore that out. I should have not wore that to that interview, and they're really learning those tools so they
Absolutely.
can get those better jobs.
Absolutely. And I believe because you have been through that already, that they can relate to you
Yes.
so much more than if someone like me was trying to teach them English, trying to teach them about life in America.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sean says hello.
Hi, Sean. How are you? As you can tell, folks, we keep it really real here. So, and if you haven't guessed by now, Grace and I go way back.
Mhm. Yes,
So I'm excited
definitely.
that she's here with us and taking the time. So let me take us right to our third question here.
Mhm.
So building genuine connections is a cornerstone of hanging out for a living. How do you foster meaning relationships with your clients? And how do these relationships impact their journey to mastering English and adapting to life in America?
Well, number one, the first thing that makes us different than other institutions is the fact that all students that start with me are interviewed first.
Ah,
I want to get to know the student. I might not be their teacher, they might have another teacher, but I want to get to know my students. I want to know what their goals are, why they want to learn English, what are your plans? Because based on that, I'm able to work with the instructor that they have and say, hey, they're focusing on, they want to go to college. So college English is different than everyday English.
mm-hmm.
So we really want to tailor our classes and our curriculum to what the need of the student is. We build relationships by always making sure that they know that they can call. I've had students send me a text, I'm in the beauty salon. They don't understand what I want, you know?
Okay.
And hey, if I have to take a moment and do a translation, my teachers, they don't have a problem with that. I
Right.
make sure that the people that are my team, that that they know that we're here for the student, for the students to have a better life.
Absolutely.
And the biggest compliment, of course, are my referrals. You
Yes.
know, word of mouth has been a blessing.
Mhm.
And when a year, 2 years have passed and a student reach out to me and says, "Hey, I got a promotion and I know it was because you helped." And those are the things that those are the connections that I love. You know, the students that
Absolutely.
always come back because they want to share their goals and their achievements with us.
Absolutely. And that's really a great segue into our fourth question. You already touched on it a little bit. What are some of the most rewarding success stories you've experienced with in America with Grace, and how have these stories actually shaped your vision for the future?
Um, I have to say that their feedback, their stories is what motivates me every day. It
Okay.
really is what makes me happy. Every time I get a story of an accomplishment, and you have to understand, Teresa, that when you're learning a language, the accomplishments are different.
Right.
Okay, so what you might think may be an accomplishment is different. I've had students that call me and just to say, I made a doctor's appointment all by myself.
Ooh,
And that's a big deal for them.
it is. Yeah.
Or I have a program that helps the retired population community learn English. So it's for 65 and over. And they come up to me, they're like, I read a story to my grandchild.
Ooh,
And that's and to see their happiness, it's just such an amazing thing. And then you have students, I have a student who's in New York, and she actually was able to get her, she's a doctor in her country. And it's
okay.
very difficult, depending on the country that you come with, to actually get your license to be a doctor.
Right.
But she became an RN. And that wasn't a big accomplishment. And she was very excited because, yes, she's not a doctor, but she's still doing what she's passionate about.
Exactly.
And she's happy. And so those are the things that really motivate me every day. Those are the things, their feedback is what helps me design the
Sure.
workshops that we are offering in the community. The resources are based on the students. Sometimes when there are companies that CEOs have these great ideas and that's what they implement. You know, you could have a great idea, but if nobody needs it,
It's not a great idea.
it's not a great idea. So I love to see what they need and I love to design based on that and implement. I still do higher ed. I tell people I still kind of do higher ed because I still do workshops on helping parents understand the school system. I'm really
Absolutely.
big about that. You can only support your child if you understand how the system works.
Agreed. And
You
I
know,
always tell people that you can take the girl out of higher ed, but you can't take the higher ed out of the girl.
nope.
I
And
speak from
it's many
experience. I
years. You
know
know
that.
that it's many years. And through higher ed, one of my success stories that I take to my heart that inspires me today, I remember I had they were twins
Okay.
from Jamaica, two
Ah,
boys from Jamaica. And I started helping them when they were in middle school.
okay.
They spoke patois. And patois back then was not considered, it's considered a dialect, not
Okay.
a language.
Ah,
So the school didn't want to put them in ESOL because technically they didn't consider that a language. So we had to really fight for them to be in ESOL. Once they got to ESOL, because before they were in ESOL, they were labeled to have a learning disability. Once they got into ESOL and the parents understood the system,
sure.
they were able to get the support, they were able to get the skills, they were able to really learn English. And years later, I actually bumped into their social worker who's Jamaican and still knew them. One of them went to UCF
Ooh,
and
okay.
the other one got a football scholarship at the University of Mississippi.
Wow. I love those
So
stories. I love
yeah.
those stories. And I love how there's a ripple effect. Like you talked
Mhm.
about the grandparent being able to read to the grandchild, right? What a great example that is.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Absolutely love it. So, Grace, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing your incredible journey and the profound impact of In
Mhm.
America with Grace. Your dedication to bridging dreams to reality and really supporting your clients wholeheartedly is truly inspiring. For our viewers who want to continue the conversation and learn more about how Grace can help you or someone you know
Mhm.
master English and thrive in American life, please find her contact information in the description of this video. Let's embrace the power of genuine connections and support each other's journeys. Until next time, everyone, keep on hanging out for a living and making meaningful connections. Thanks again, Grace. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye, everyone.